Hello everyone, welcome to day 7 of ServiceNow Fundamental Series. In this video, today we are going to explore UI Actions, the customization tool used to create and configure buttons, links, and context menu items on ServiceNow forms and list views. So, first I'll show. Again, I'm opening the incident list view. Okay, so whatever you are seeing, this new button, actions, these are all are the UI actions. So this will be, we can see on the ServiceNow forms and list views. And today you will be learn how UI actions differ from UI policies, understand when they run on client versus server side, review real out of the box examples like new and resolve buttons, and build your own custom form button from scratch. So today we are going to cover what is UI action, where UI action appear, and client versus server UI actions, reviewing the new button UI action which is already there, and resolve button as well, and creating a custom button. So let's jump into the topic. What is UI action? So yeah, a UI action is a customization tool in ServiceNow that allows administrators and developers to create and configure interactive elements, primarily buttons, links, and context menu choices that appear on forms and list views. Unlike UI policies, which control field state passively, UI actions are triggered by a user clicking something. Okay, they can execute code on the client side, that means in the browser, the server side, on the application server, both. So a UI action is a configurable clickable element in ServiceNow that executes client side or server side logic when a user interacts with it on a form or list view. So why do we need UI actions? If I open this form, you can see this update, create security incident, follow. These are all UI actions only. If I right click on the header menu, we can see these things, right? These again are the UI actions only on the list. This is not a list, it's type of, I'll show the type of this as well. Okay. So out of the box, ServiceNow provides standard buttons like save, update, delete, and resolve. However, different organizations and different teams have unique workflows that require custom interactions. UI actions let administrators create purpose-built buttons and links that trigger specific workflows, validations, or field updates tailored exactly to the business process at hand. So, yeah, where these UI actions appear? From the banner buttons, where you are seeing these things, right? Update and the buttons that appear at the top of the form view, which we are seeing currently: update button, create security incident button, resolve, close, these things. And we also have type as form context menu, that items that appear in the drop down context form menu of a form. For example, if I right click this, or even if I go to this additional actions, so these are all are called form context menu UI actions. And we also have form links, that is called this related link section. Okay, these are the clickable links that appear in a dedicated related link section at the bottom of a form. And we also have list banner buttons, that is, again, if I go back to this list, these are the list banner button which we are seeing, this new button and actions. this new button. So the buttons that appear at the top of the list view. And here also we have list context menu. When we right click, like menu options available when you right click a record in list view. For example, this thing, these show matching, these things are called list context menu UI actions. And list choice, drop down choice items in the list action area. This is called list choice button. So let's discuss what is client versus server UI actions and when to use this each. UI actions have a checkbox called client that determines whether client side code runs. So first, before that, let me open one UI action under system definition or system UI. You can open anything which works same. Okay. If I click this new button, I'll just show you the like how UI action form looks. Okay. If I scroll up, you can see, you can give here the name and where this button should appear on which table, those things. Okay. If you see here, this is what I'm talking about, the client button. Okay. If the client checkbox is unchecked, the action runs entirely on the server. If it is checked, the on click field becomes available for client side JavaScript. I'll show you here. If you click here, on click, this button is showing. This is again happening based on the UI policy they have created. If I uncheck this, this UI action completely runs on the server side code. And the server side code in the script field handles the backend processing. Many UI actions use both. Client side code runs first as a confirmation dialog. Maybe we can say example as confirmation dialog. And if the user confirms, the server side code processes the database operation. So here we have one action name field, right? This action name field is equal to server side function reference. And whenever we click this client, there is on click field, right? That is equal to client side JavaScript function name. Both can be used together. So before creating any UI action from scratch, let's go back and search for this new button. Okay, new, and I'm checking for the table incident. Okay, you can see this is on a form action, list action, normal list for incidents. Okay, if I open this, the new button that appears at the top of every list view is a UI action configured as a list banner button. You can see here, right? It was checked as list banner button. When clicked, it opens a blank new form. Right? This is what I'm talking. When we click this new button, it opens one new blank form for that table, because this only needs to create a new record form, a server operation. It runs entirely on the server. That is the reason here, if you see, the client checkbox is not checked, right? And only the action name is populated, sysverb underscore new. So we have checked these all things, right? And here there is a condition field where, for example, you have to check whenever we click on that new button, uh, it will first trigger, I mean, check this condition. Okay, then it runs the script. So if you review that server side code that process the full resolve operation and writes to the database. So when we open a new incident, we have to fill the required fields, click resolve, observe okay, let me so if you see here, this is completely running on the server side, and we have selected the list banner button as a checkbox, which we can see on the list view of the table. So let me go to again UI actions and search for resolve. So if I click, if I open this resolve UI action, so this resolve button on an incident form is one of the best examples of a UI action that operates both sides. That means server side and also client side. So when we click on the resolve button, the client side code immediately updates the form state field to resolve. The user sees the change instantly in the browser. Simultaneously, server-side code handles the database write, updates the resolve timestamp, and sends any notification if it is configured. So if I go here to the resolve UI action, if you see the form style is like this is on the form button we have given, right? And action name is given. Along with that, client is also checked. This client checkbox is also checked. Note on the, if you see on the on click this thing, we have a client side JavaScript function that sets state and resolved values in the browser immediately. If you see this resolved incident function, you are telling on click of this, you are calling this resolve incident function. Okay, and what that function is doing, it is setting the incident state and state values to resolve, and it is displaying the mandatory fields. And if you review the if you see the script field server side code that process the full resolve operation and which writes to the database. When we open this thing, right, we have given this color, short description and everything. And when I change the state to resolved, if you see here, resolved information is getting mandatory due to this UI policy. And whenever I save this, the state updates with resolved, but what it will check whether these fields are filled or not, right? This is the condition field we are giving. Observe the state field changes instantly on the client side, and the resolution code or notes field become visible where UI policy is also at work. Okay, you got my point, right? So let's create a one custom UI action. So our scenario is like we'll create a simple custom form button on the incident table that when clicked, it should display an alert message to the user. Simultaneously, it should simulate a subscription confirmation or acknowledgement button, something like that. So this example focuses on purely client-side UI action to illustrate the on-click and function mechanism clearly. Okay, I'm just closing this. Let me click new. So I'm just giving the name as something like subscribe. Okay, table I'm giving as incident. You just select the incident, and form style is button, the style is form button, and active is checked, So I'm checking this. We need to run this UI action on the client side, right? And so I'm just checking this client checkbox. So now on click field becomes visible. In the on click field, just type the function like tech with okay, and in the script section here I'm writing the script section where we have to like telling which serves the client side function body when client is checked. So we have to write the function. Let me copy this same thing and paste. So I'm just populating the alert. Okay. You have subscribed the something you can give. Okay, semicolon, and on right click on the form header and just click save. Okay, now if I refresh this page, if I click on the UI action which we have created, this subscribe, it is showing as you are subscribed to the like whatever the alert message we have given. Okay, so yeah, we came to end for the today's video, and here the key takeaways are UI actions create buttons, links, and context menu items on forms and list views. They can run client side, that means browser, and server side, that is like application server, or both. The client checkbox enables client side code. The on click field specifies the function name. Server side actions use the action name field to reference a function. Real world examples include the new button we have checked, resolve button, right? There are many other. Please go to your PDI and explore those things. And I'll be covering real world examples, few more use cases in further classes. So we also gone through created one UI action from scratch, so which focuses on understanding what UI actions do and what they like where they appear, not on writing complex scripts. So in next class we are going to cover business tools. This is the most powerful server-side customization tool in ServiceNow. I'll be walk through all four types. There are like types of business tools that we will be covering all four types in next video, and I'll explain when each runs and build practical examples for each type directly in the PDI. So let's meet in the next video. Thank you. Please do subscribe, like, share to the videos. Thank you so much.